Hello everybody and welcome to another Pomade review. Today we are going to be looking at Rocky Mountain Barber Company Pomade. Now this may seem like a kind of random choice that I'm going to be doing, as there have been plenty of people in the comments requesting me to do things like a Suavecito pomade I haven't reviewed, a Layrite pomade I haven't reviewed, any other number of more popular ones. But I have an interesting story as to why I wanted to review this pomade today. These people reached out to me the week before I got into that really gnarly car crash. And if you've been following along with the channel, after that major car crash, I kind of stopped uploading for a long time. In addition to me starting to have my hair thin and recede a bit, kind of sucked a lot of the fun out of wanting to upload. And I wanted this to be my major comeback, not only as a thank you to the people who had originally sent it to me, this company, but also as it seemed right and prolific to be the one that I choose to come back, was the one that went unreviewed. So let's get into it. So Rocky Mountain Barber Company, a Canadian company, Niagara Falls, and they'd reached out to me to review their water-based pomade. So simple screw off top. Also good to know, 5 ounces, so you're getting a good amount of pomade in there. Filled right to the top, just like I like it. The scent being a nice aqua type of cologne type scent. If you smelled any aqua type of scented colognes or pomades, it's gonna smell like that. Important to note, this is not the pomade from 6 years ago. They did send me another one, and I did want to review it as well because I did use the one that they'd sent me a couple years ago and I did really like it. So I had a lot to say about it. All right, so more to it than just it smelling good. This is how it scoops out. Easy peasy. And important to note here, it has a bit of a kind of tackier feel. So you can see, not really sticking to my hand all that much. Typical gel type water base, but not as much like your standard Suavecitos, Layrites, mixed together real nice. And actually, if there was one pomade that this really reminded me of, it was Dick Tremolo's water-based pomade. Really liked that one back in the day because it was in that whole unorthodox pomade era that was happening. That one I enjoyed because it was somewhat gel type. Funny thing, the previous owner, or I guess only owner, of the Dick Tremolo's pomade, I was close with him. And he had mentioned to me back then when he was making the Dick Tremolo's water base that he felt like he was gonna blow up his house trying to make that in his kitchen, because he just went to the back of other gel type stuff, looked on the back of other gel type water base ingredients, ordered them off of Amazon or wherever, and just started mixing them together in his kitchen. Felt like he was gonna blow up his house. But of course, that did not happen, and turned out to be a great pomade. All right, so goes in all easy peasy, like any standard gel type water base would. Just got a little rag in here to wipe my hands. And the scent on it is not too crazy strong, which is nice. So as you can see, combs through real easy. Since losing my hair and kind of thinning a little bit, I do my parts in a little bit of a different way. I don't go back and then split them. I do bring them forward. So I'm just gonna use the camera on the phone here to find my part line. And the way that my wife cuts my hair, she can typically give me a pretty solid part without having to give me a hard part, which is real nice. Perfect. All right, as you can see, it has a very subtle shine. It does have a rather matte finish, as is pretty standard with gel type water-based pomades, but is perfectly acceptable, especially in the summertime when it gets a little bit crispier. All right, you can see everything is coming together nicely. Just doing my standard side parted pompadour. All right, and there we go. That is looking pretty good to me. All right, so some final thoughts. They reached out to me again after I posted my first the hamburger steak video after coming back, and had mentioned like, hey, we still would love for you to review our product. We'd love for you to still tell us your thoughts on it. And I was eager to, because once again, I have a lot to say. So I used up, they gave me 2 tins, and over the course of 6 years, I ended up using both of them to their full extent because I liked it so much. First thing was, it has a bit of a subtle shine, more so than you can expect from other gel type ones, which I do think is really nice, and hardens up definitely harder than you know, a typical pomade, obviously, but doesn't get too hard and too crispy. And I did find that on a hot day, it would just naturally get a little bit softer in the hair. Now, it will be a little bit crunchy. Once again, it's just the way that gel type water bases work. They're going to be on the crunchier side when they do dry up. But overall, it was one that I liked the feel of it and how it felt in my hair. This was a go-to for me if I wanted something quick, fast, and easy, and I was out of my other stuff like lay right, or I never bought Suavecito. If I was out of lay right or other water types, or I didn't want to use an unorthodox, sometimes you just want to use a standard gel type. And this was one that was very suitable for me, and that I really did enjoy it. Another thing that I liked to do was there was a brief time where I would do a handlebar mustache, in addition to either a beard or by itself. And if I wanted a softer handlebar mustache, you can use gel type water bases to serve that function if you would like to. And it was one that I like to just put a little bit, just a skosh in there and do it just to get my mustache hairs out of my mouth. I obviously don't do that anymore. It was too much high maintenance, so I did stop doing the handlebar mustache. But it was something that I would turn to this one too, to just get it out of my face because it was a quick, easy grab. So all in all, really standard, good gel type water base. I'm gonna be completely honest, you're not gonna expect something that's gonna change the world, but if you are looking for just another really good solid gel type water base, it's what you like and you want to order it in to make it feel a little bit more special, this is one that I absolutely would recommend. All right, and there you have it, Rocky Mountain Barber. Headbang test.